Welcome back to League of Explorers. Today we are taking out Sliver the Slitherspear. Slivery Spear. Heroic. This one was actually really hard, I have to admit. I tried with several different decks, and I had to resort to looking online for another deck to be able to do it with. And then I saw this rogue deck. So this is the deck. It requires Bronzebeard, and things to be able to kill off their minions, like Pit Snake and Emperor Cobra. And Doomsday is really good to play early game as well, because it's for tempos and stuff. Deathlord's really good for taking out for the early game stuff as well, and it can be quite good for the late game, so it stops potentially like 8+ of damage, right? Anti-heal bots are really good in combination with the Bronzebeard, because each one will heal for 16, which is ridiculous. And the idea is with this is to mill him, okay? So he has several ways of drawing cards as well for that gain 6 armor, draw 3 cards, I think it is. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to use the vanishes to be able to get all his minions back to his hand when he's flooded the board a bit more. Get the Cold Light Oracles to be able to draw into his cards and get him to burn some of his deck. Well, oh god, the Raider's a really good one to get rid of. And just a tip as well, those minions that he gets from his hero power, if you return those to his hand and he plays them again, they're just 1/1s, because it's his hero power that adds the extra health and damage onto them. So the Shadow Step is going to be used on either Heal Bot or Cold Light. Ideally you want to do it in combination with Bran, because you get much more out of it. But obviously I've played it earlier because we needed to draw into the heal, we need to draw into Bran, we need to draw into more things to be able to kill off stuff, right? So the Emperor Cobra and stuff, and then we got the is it Salvage? I can't remember what it's called. Sabotage, that's what it's called. And we have Assassinate as well for the big things. Those ones are really saved for the 5/7 taunts, or when his hero power minions get like ridiculously big. So the prep's also going to want to be used on the big heavy spells. Pit Snake and things like that, like I was saying before, take out the bigger things. Sea Reaver is just a 6-mana 6/6, right? So it doesn't really matter. That early game, if he draws the early game, that could give you a huge tempo boost, because he's only got the 1/1, 2/2, 3/3 down kind of thing. Bear in mind, he's also got that Archer as well that he just pulled out there, which Battlecry deal 2 damage to all enemy minions, which is actually devastating if you're running like a Paladin deck or something. That's what I tried to start with. I actually did this with a Paladin deck to start with, on normal difficulty, and that Battlecry actually whooped ass. So I just did Vanish, and it killed off, what, 4 of his minions then, I think? We got a Cold Light back to hand as well. We need to bear in mind that if you start milling yourself, or you start drawing too many cards and you're going to end up, dealing damage to yourself for the card draw, it's really not going to be good. I know you can heal for about 32 with a heal box if you use both of them on Bran, with Bran. But bear in mind that you do have Shadow Step as well. You've got 2 Shadow Steps as well if you want to be able to get those back to hand. So the Ironbeak Owl can be used to take out. It's essentially get rid of 6/6 of damage, right? So if you silence the 7/7, it goes down to a 1/1. And bear in mind, like I said before, if those get returned back to hand over the other big things, then those ones go back to hand. We'll play them as just a 1/1/1, and then hopefully the bigger things, they go back to hand and get absolutely smushed. So the seas belong to us, do they? Seps you're going to want to use when he has a full hand, or if you're really in like a desperate situation where you need to get rid of them. And there's another case of where Deathlord is actually really good. Gang Up you want to use on Cold Light Oracle, or Anti-Heal Bot, or, things like that will actually fill your deck up with stuff to be able to mill him either quicker, or deal more damage, or be able to make sure that you last longer than him, right? It's not a big deal that the Deathlord brings out his minions either, because again, it's just going to be milling him even more, and he's going to go into fatigue a lot faster, and yeah. So, like I said, it's better, kind of better to play the Cold Lights with Bran, but in this case, I actually didn't draw into Bran until quite late game. So yeah, I playing the oracles without Bran is fine. Just make sure that you have like a Shadow Step or just some way of using Bran. I think in this game I actually used Bran to heal for 16 with the heal bot or something. It was along those lines. So you're going to want to use the Emperor Cobras and stuff to try and start playing those ones, because then you can actually start taking out the big things. You're probably going to take a whole bunch of damage from stuff. But oh, I just realised what I did. I did prep, and I think I was going to use Sabotage, but then realised it was a random minion, and you don't really want to do a random minion when he's got a 1/1 down. So I used the stat to return the other one to its hand. I believe it burnt it, and then the next card he drew, it burnt it as well. And then all of a sudden, wow, big ass board from nowhere. So we got anti-heal bot. We could do with a whole bunch of flood. I think I actually got really lucky with this because I played Sabotage and actually took out his taunt. Yeah, I got super lucky. So if I trade this off properly, so you put the owl into the 5/2, and then put one of your oracles into the 3/1, and then he's only got 17 worth of damage. So we're gonna go down to, what's that, 7 health, I think. Meaning that anti-heal bot is gonna have to be played with Bran, because else we're going to be going down really quite low, and that's very much dangerous. I think in this matchup, Danger Zone's usually around 15 anyway, but it's like 1 turn lethal 15 in this case, so it just, you know. So Double Cobra takes care of those two next turn if we don't draw into an alternative way around it. I think ideally the Doomsayer is a better early game, or if you played this with like Freeze Mage or something, the Doomsayer is also going to be really good. What did I draw into now? Because this is looking terrifying. Alright, Cold Light Oracle. Let's see what we get. I think I did Cold Light Oracle and then I actually drew into Bran. But that meant that because I used the Cold Light Oracle, I couldn't use Bran and the heal bot. There you go, there's Bran. Lovely golden Bran. And he's starting to fatigue now, so he has, what's that? Is that 9 cards in hand? I can't really see. But and now we have Bran, and we can heal up and then use Doomsayer or something. We could actually use Gang Up on one of the heal bots, which I'm not entirely sure. I can't remember what I did. Alright, I did Doomsayer. And he actually traded it off properly, whereas sometimes when you're against the bot, they don't actually trade it off the Doomsayer. But he did trade off the Doomsayer, so we're down to 9. I think I drew into Vanish. Did I draw into Vanish? I did draw into Vanish. It was a miracle Vanish as well, because all of that stuff is very much going to kill me. So make sure that if you're going to play Vanish, that you attack face first with your minions on board, just to make sure that you don't miss any damage, because if I did Vanish first, then I just missed out on 5 damage, and that could have been the game, right? So we return all those back to his hand. Nothing gets killed off, but I'm going to play Doomsayer, because then the idea is he starts playing more minions, he does his hero power and stuff, and it gives us an extra turn for him to take that 3 damage, for him to get a stage on ahead with milling him in the fatigue stuffs. So Curse Reform, whatever you want to pronounce it, I don't know. Deals 2 damage whilst it's in your hand, so you need to try and get rid of that. Luckily for me, he didn't actually play that earlier, because I think it would have killed me if it was 1 turn ahead. So what we're going to do, I believe this is, pretty sure this is lethal. So you do Bran Blonsbeard, and then we have Healbot, and then I think I used one of those Curse of Reforms and attacked face, meaning that next turn we can use the Cold Light Oracle. There should be another Cold Light Oracle in deck as well, because we used Gang Up. So we use Cold Light Oracle, we start milling him, and I believe that was lethal. I believe it was lethal. I think we've still got Assassinate to be able to take out that big old 13/13 Hungry Naga that's stronger than Deathwing. Which is pretty ridiculous. Betrayal is also insane in this. especially if you draw early game and you don't have any like vanishes or anything. It's a Cold Light Oracle. You draw into another Cold Light Oracle, and then we can start milling him to shit. Definitely lethal. It was lethal with one Cold Light Oracle, actually. Wow. 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 Okay. There you go. I hope you found this helpful. This is the best deck to do it with, I believe. So yeah, enjoy this. And see later, guys. Bye. Hello, everybody, and welcome to our brand new free-to-play series. Right, we're gonna do a free-to-play series. All right. We're still on EU. Oh, sorry, I just gotta sort my mic out. Just draw it in. Sorry. We're still on EU, but I got a different account, and I'm not gonna be giving out the bits and bobs for that, but whatever. So what class are we gonna be picking for the free-to-play? I wonder.